It's Sir Michael Caine. Michael Caine, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Come on, have a seat, sir.
Hello. Great to see you. Good to see you.
Michael, so lovely to have you back on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. People will have noticed you've got a stick there. You broke your ankle early in the year. I think it was February, wasn't it?
Yeah, in February. It takes a long time to get better. If you have a broken ankle, everywhere you go, the lift's out of order. You'll notice that. You'll see that.
But most people, I think, they would say, OK, well, I've got to rest up now, and I'll stay home and rest up. But you use the time very productively, because that's when you wrote your book.
Yeah, in the book, I'd say something which I'd say to my grandchildren, my children, if you find a bad situation, try to use the difficulty and find something good in it. And I thought, I'm sitting here for weeks with this broken ankle. Use the difficulty. So I wrote the book.
Wow. That's a great thing. Here it is. I'm going to ask you to read out the title, because obviously that's a pretty famous...
Yeah, the title is Blowing the Bloody Doors Off.
It's a fabulous book, and it's amazing, I mean, to think about this while you're sitting next to David, but you were considered by some to be too camp to make it as an actor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And this is true.
In the Hypocrites file, I was trying to seduce the lady by cooking her a dinner in my flat. And so I went to the supermarket to get some food, and there was a scene in there
By the button mushrooms?
Yeah, I'm doing button mushrooms. And I came home and cooked the dinner for her in the kitchen. And when they saw the rushes in America, one of the executives wrote back to Sid Fury, the director, and said, the leading man is too effeminate. He wears glasses, cooks. And the next movie I did was Alfie, where I screwed everybody in the picture.
So you turned that one right on its head, right there. Am I right, you had a flat or an apartment in Chelsea, which you shared with Terence Stamp, who was the other kind of young up-and-coming actor at the time, maybe a bit before you, I think he'd had a hit.
Yeah, he did.
And John Barry, the great composer and scorer of films.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where in the 60s, everybody you knew became famous, you know, because I used to share a flat with Vidal Sassoon and get my hair cut by him. He was just a barber, you know. I didn't know he was going to be famous. You know, I went out and got drunk one night with John Barry, and I slept overnight in his place. And I got up in the morning and he'd written this tune, and he played it for me, and I was the first person in the world to hear Goldfinger, you know.
Did he have the lyrics? He knew it was going to be Goldfinger, or just the tune?
No, he just had the tune. No, we didn't sing it, no.
What was Sean Connery like? Because you became very close with him, and he's still with us, of course, but...
Well, Sean was amazing, because I met Sean when we were very young, and I was at a party on the Saturday night, and he came to the party after the show, you know, at about 11 o'clock. And I was there with two girls, and the reason for that was because in those days they used to say, bring a bottle and a bird, a bottle of wine and a bird, which is a girl. I know it's very you know, but I'm a big feminist, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. And I couldn't afford a bottle of wine. I didn't have enough money, so I bought two birds. And Sean came in and looked around the room, and he saw me, and I immediately became his new best friend, and he hadn't even spoken to me. And he was over, and that's how we became friends.
Amazing. You've been in 3 films this year, I believe, so you're not slowing down, it doesn't seem to me.
No, I'm not slowing down, but I don't take leading parts in movies anymore. I don't want to get up at 6:30 in the morning for 3 months, you know, so I do 2 weeks and then collapse.
And so do you still get offered? You get offered leading roles, though, and you just decide...
Oh, yeah. What was the last one I did?
Youth?
Youth, I did Youth, and the 3 old boys, the robbers, Morgan Freeman and Alan Arkin. It was amazing, because when you get old in movies, they take care of you, you know? And, for instance, Alan Arkin couldn't remember lines, you know, so he had them written on the wall everywhere and you know. And it was fine. Nobody cared, you know. We thought one day we'll have to do that, you know, when he goes. And then at the end of the movie, we're doing a scene on a bridge over a little river. And he's doing this dialogue there, leaning on the edge of the bridge. And I thought, bloody hell, he's done all this dialogue. And he hasn't got it. I was looking around, there was no lines. And then I looked over the bridge, and there's a woman in a barge with a big finger.
It's a really beautiful book. And, you know, let me just remind you, if you buy one book for Christmas this year, make it that one, because it's a fabulous book. Good too, buy two. But you talk about your life in it, you talk about acting, and you used to talk a little bit about your family, of course. You're a grandfather now. And your relationship, you've been married to Shakira for how many years now?
45 years.
45 years. Isn't that beautiful? That's so lovely. She's wonderful, of course.
Oh, yes, she really is wonderful, yeah.
What advice would you give to David, who is currently single, in what to look for in a partner, how to have a life partner of some meaning and profundity and longevity?
We're extending the programme, are we?
Give us a couple of snippets.
Well, no, my experience was I saw this lady on the television in a commercial and fell in love instantly. And it was a commercial for coffee in Brazil and everything, and an awful lot of coffee in Brazil was the tune. But I just watched her, and I thought, that's the woman for me. And I said to my mate, I said, we're going to Brazil in the morning, we're going to find her. and I went down the disco to my mate, to Johnny Gold in Tramp, where we all went. And we're sitting there, the three of us, and one of the guys came in. He said, where are you three? No girls? What's going on? I said, well, no, I said, I saw a beautiful girl on the television. I said, and I'm going to Brazil in the morning to find her. He said, I've been watching television all evening. I never saw any beautiful girls. I said, no, she wasn't in a show. She was in a commercial. He said, what's a commercial for? I said, Maxwell House Coffee. He said, we do that. I said, well, you know the Brazilian girl in it? I said, I'm going to Brazil in the morning to find her. Can you help me? He said, Michael, she's not Brazilian. She's Indian. I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah, and she lives in the Fulham Road. So, the moral of that tale, be prepared for it to come out of nowhere.
That's lovely. Well, please give him my love. There's one thing in the book I noticed. You talk about a relaxation technique you do when tense during moments when you're...
Yeah, I bend right over, and especially just before a take, when you need your brain, and you get your head right over between your knees so the blood rushes to your head.
So you really do this? This really helps you?
I really do it. Just
well, you can't demonstrate because your ankle.
I can't do it now,
would you mind?
My ankle.
Maybe David, would you stand up? Michael can tell you how to do it, and let's see whether. Okay. What do you do?
Now put your arms above your head. Now bend right over and touch your toes.
Well, Jonathan's around.
But no, you don't bend your knees, I guess, do you?
No, that's it. Now stay down there. Now come up very slowly, and as you come up, bring your arms down to your side. That's it. Now, take some deep breaths. Now you're ready to go.
I am relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bullies me, Sir Michael.
No, I don't.
He's jealous of me. He's jealous of me.
Oh, he's jealous of you, all right, yeah. I'm jealous of you. You made so much bloody money with those books.
How often you get to see your grandchildren? Let me do this again in English.
Grandchildren. Grandchildren. You can do it. You can do it.
You get to see the family quite a lot, I imagine. How often do you see the grandchildren? Are they around often?
I see them all the time.
How lovely.
Yeah.
That must be lovely.
Yeah, but they come most weekends, yeah.
Wow.
Because
and what do? You watch TV or you...?
No, the boys have got a football field, there's a swimming pool, there's a cinema, there's everything, you know, and so they love coming there.
I bet they do.
And I love them coming there. I adore my grandchildren. And it's the most amazing thing, when you get old, you're getting older and older and older, and you start thinking about getting old and slowing down and dying and everything. And then the grandchildren come, and your whole life starts all over again. Because you start living their life, not yours.
Isn't that lovely?
Which is so important, to have these children. And especially to have grandchildren who love you as well. And my grandchildren do love me.
So lovely.
Yeah.
It's so lovely. You're Michael Caine, ladies and gentlemen.